Hello everyone, a little bit different video here, but I am playing Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and I discovered a strange exploit while playing as Britain and revolting as the USA, which has unique cards that essentially allow you to infinitely spawn new units. So it's clearly a completely balanced game. Yeah, I can't claim I'm as interesting or ever going to be as interesting as the Spiffing Brit, but he constantly repeats himself anyway, and that gets kind of boring. So what I did is it's revolt as the UK in the 4th Age. It may apply to other civs, I've not tested it, but when I revolted as the USA. One of their cards allows you to spawn units when you build forts, and one of their cards allows you to raise militias from those forts, and another card allows you to obviously build those forts. USA, when you revolt from Britain, doesn't have a minimum fort option, or a maximum, I mean. It doesn't have a maximum fort capacity, so you can infinitely spawn all these forts, and they'll spawn units. They'll spawn Gatling guns and a type of skirmisher automatically, and then you can go into each of them individually and spawn the militia. So this is me building up. I noticed it when I hit 235 population, and I'm like, okay, yeah, usually you can get a little bit over 200, but not that far. And then I started recording, I think it was about 295, you'll see at the beginning of the video. And I kind of just wanted to see how far I could take it. And so, yeah, it's a bit spammy. It is by no means usable in multiplayer. It's just way too slow. The game mode I'm already in is already sped up, and the footage is sped up on top of that. So in actual gameplay, there's no way you can use it. Also, remember that you essentially have to have a monopoly anyway, because even though in the current game you can, at least as the US, when you revolt, there are cards in that do allow you to spawn new citizens, they're called, when you revolt. So you can continue to build economy if you want to do that. But yeah, it's just crazy. I remember hitting 300 because I wasn't sure if it wasn't just because it lets you a little bit of leeway when you're building up armies and stuff like that and getting cards. But like when I hit around 290, which is when I started recording this, I just was like, how far can I take it? How far can it go? And I was gonna go to 1,000, but as you'll see here, I wound up getting at about 600. I start organizing my huge army. Yeah, and also don't forget that most of this army is inadequately upgraded, so their combat effectiveness against other units probably wouldn't be too great. I didn't go back and go into the upgrading options. I guess I could have, but even so, you're limited because you're revolted. You don't have all the upgrade capabilities that you would have if you didn't. But it was just crazy that the US doesn't have, well, at least when you revolt, they don't have a limit on the amount of forts you can make. So, like I said, the cards that they have, one of the cards spawns a type of skirmisher, the other one spawns a type of the Gatling gun, and then you can spawn the Minutemen at each of them, and one of the cards makes it to where Minutemen don't lose health over time, so they stay on. And yeah, Minutemen are garbage, they're bottom tier infantry. But still, the raw numbers that I was coming up with here is ridiculous. It would be very difficult for anyone to combat this, even if they were fully upgraded without cheats. Because this isn't cheating. This is legitimately in the game. It's just broken. There's no cheats. There's no mods. I just stumbled upon it. And I get my army up to about 600-ish, 650-ish. I sort them all out, or try to get them into armies to prove that each of them are large and it's not just like an error, an error. And also keep in mind that each Gatling gun, I think, is worth about 16 pop when you revolt as the US. I think it is something like that. It's at least 8, because you don't have cards to decrease the, or at least I didn't have cards to decrease the artillery population amount. So it's just crazy. And I wanted to go to 1,000. I wanted to see if it could take it. But when I go into the attack later on here, you're gonna see that it was struggling, and the AI that I was fighting here was essentially dead. It was on easy. I was doing the spring challenges. I was just messing around. That's kind of why I discovered it, I guess. Because I wasn't taking the game seriously. I was just messing around, and here I am sorting out the armies here. Yeah, I wanted to keep going, but I had to go to bed as well, and I'm kind of glad, because who knows how much it would have chugged, and you're definitely gonna see that, even though that this is sped up, and also remembering that the in-game gameplay was sped up as well. It was at its fastest setting. But yeah, it was interesting. And could you imagine trying to attack into this as well? Like, I know I don't have like any really good structure here amongst these forts, but that would be so difficult. Like, you would have to tuck it. Tuck. The old cheat code for the monster truck on. But yeah, it's just crazy. I get to about 600. I'm gonna speed up a little bit here. I'll get to the attack. Alright, yeah. So I figured out how to speed it up. So I'm gonna speed it up as fast as it can go. And yeah, so I just keep on building up the army here. Keep on trying to push it. I try to, like I said, at this point I was still trying to gun for 1,000. Because I was trying to get a big epic all-together group shots, and then I start moving my armies down once I make this new division, because I'm like, yeah. Then he insulted me and my soldiers, and I'm like, screw it. And then this is the actual in-gameplay speed. That like, it was... And again, remember that this is sped up. So that chugging is pretty noticeable. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.